Today, I wanted to share the 8 biggest challenges that I see that entrepreneurs have that they need to overcome to create a sustainable business. So the first thing is getting too comfortable. I've said this time and time again, yet I'm telling you now, since the experience we've had over the past few years, those that were too comfortable have struggled massively. And I'll give you an example. I had a client who generated loads of their business through Facebook ads. So at the beginning of lockdown, they were doing great, right? Things were coming in, it was easy. But what's happened is, as the market has become more and more competitive, because they haven't diversified the streams of clients that they've got coming in, suddenly it wasn't working anymore. They kept on doing the same thing, getting comfortable, not doing something different, and it's not working. So now they're thinking, what do I do? It's not working anymore. There must be something wrong with this or that. They're making excuses, right? Now, ultimately, for yourself, what you want to do is to get out of your comfort zone. Reinvest in the business constantly to take you to higher levels of results, of abundance, and getting to where you need to be. It's so important to push yourself out into that area of growth so that you don't get left behind, because the truth is the world is moving so quickly. If you're going to be sustainable, you've got to stay ahead of the curve. You've got to be innovating constantly so that you're above everyone else and can start to serve your clients at a higher level. Don't get too comfortable, constantly push yourself. Next, no focus. Too many entrepreneurs don't have the sustainable growth that they want because they get distracted with too many things. It's like the shiny penny syndrome. They're like, oh, that looks great, yeah, let's do that. They're doing so much and they're not focusing on one thing. It's very important to focus and get some outstanding results before you start shifting gears to something else, right? You need a vehicle that allows you to scale your business, whatever that is. And making sure that it works, that you're focused, is so important. There are far too many people in this world wanting your time. There's people messaging you, there's people saying, can you do this, can you do that? If you say yes to everyone, it's going to be very challenging to be able to have that clear focus to be able to move forward. Now, a lot of people, as an example, say when you first start out, you should focus on one social media channel. Now, I'm telling you this, I didn't even listen to that advice, and I do regret doing it because it would have made so much sense to have dominated one and move forward. Now, literally 3 years ago, I did exactly that. I said, right, I'm going to just focus on YouTube, going to dominate that, and then I'll do something else. And what happens is you create those systems, you can start to move forward, and then it allows you to have a bigger impact in due course. So make sure that you've got that focus so you can really start to level up and get towards where you need to be. Now, next, a lack of marketing. There are far too many business owners creating the most amazing product in the middle of nowhere that no one knows about. Marketing has never, ever been as important compared to now. Now is literally the most important time because it's so competitive. No longer can you say, oh, we do this, and someone says that's great. Instead, they say, oh, that's great. There are like 30 other people that do the same thing. So you've got to be able to differentiate yourself, you've got to be able to market in the right way, you've got to be creative, you've got to get the right brand, and making sure that you focus lots on marketing. Too many people spend maybe 80% of their resources and budget on the product and not enough on marketing. You need to get a balance of both and make sure that you're actively advertising and marketing to help your business move forward. Next, a huge challenge, analysis paralysis. Oh my Lord, I cannot tell you how much I used to struggle with analysis paralysis. I used to think, should I focus just on China? Should I focus on the UK as well? Should I focus on LA? How do I build my business? I'm doing all these things. Do I do events? How do I generate these leads? There were so many challenges because I was just in my head. I was over-analyzing everything. And the truth is, if you're going to be sustainable, you need to get out of that analysis paralysis and just make some decisions and see what happens. For example, when we look at everything that happened with COVID, like I had my speaking business, I was flying around the world, doing loads of talks, getting clients through that. I needed to make some fast decisions. There was no analysis paralysis. I need to get stuff done. And that is very important for yourself to reflect. Are you getting things done that you need to, or are you someone that's kind of thinking about a lot of things and not making the progress you need? Because the truth is, you're never going to know 100%. So you've just got to make that decision and follow through in order to get towards where you want to be. Next, cash flow. Cash flow is king in business. If you don't have cash, that is your blood, right? It's kind of like oxygen. Because think about as a human how long you can go without oxygen. Not very bloody long, right? Cash is the same thing. A business doesn't run without cash. You've got to get on top of your cash flow, your finances, and understand how to build your business up sustainably. It's not enough to just grow too fast and run out of cash, because then you're going to get too big and you can't be sustainable. But there's also no point in having loads of reserves and not reinvesting back in the business. So this is where you need to think long term, be careful, but also take educated risks to allow you to start to move your business forward. So make sure that you are on top of your cash flow, you understand your finances, you get like a finance team if you've got no idea what you're doing, or you need to learn what's going on to ultimately move your business forward in a way where you know the metrics, you know the cash coming in, and you know that you can start to meet all these needs, these payrolls, these operational costs moving forward, so that you don't suddenly come up with a blip, get into debt, and then suddenly the business goes bankrupt. Next, lack of or no delegation. It is so important as an entrepreneur to be able to delegate and to trust other people. Now, this can be very challenging when you start off. I remember when I was running some of my first events in China years ago, I did all the design. I cannot tell you how bad I am at design. If you were to look at those posters, they were genuinely some of the worst pieces of content I think I've ever created, but I was just doing my best. I literally was on Photoshop, I was trying to move lines here and there, make it somewhat fancy. I just had no idea what I was doing. But I didn't really trust anyone else, I kind of just had to give it a go. I wasn't organized and I didn't delegate. So when we're looking at the position that you're in right now, my question is, are you delegating? Are you your business? If you were to step out, does your business still run? You've got to start to put the pieces in place to allow your business to scale so that you're not really getting that overwhelming feeling. So instead, think about how you can move from a business operator into a business owner. It's a huge difference, and the only way that is going to happen is if you delegate and you start to move things forward in a way that's actually going to help you delegate the right task, get the right team, and stop doing all the work yourself so that you can actually bring other people on to help you move forward. Next, a non-scalable business model. If your business model isn't scalable, it will not be sustainable in the future. I remember having a conversation with a client, and she said to me, Ben, I want to pull in 100K this month. And I said, that sounds fantastic. Let's go through the numbers. So we start going through the numbers, and at her current business model, there is no way she could make over 60K. If she was fully booked out, she was doing all the sales calls, she had everyone signing up, 60K is absolute maximum capacity for her business. So what does that mean? It's impossible with her current business model to reach those figures. And this is where you've got to get realistic and you've got to look at what you're doing and think, how can I make this sustainable moving forward? What must be in place to allow me to grow this sustainably and actually scale up towards where I want to be? So important. Make sure that you've got that scalable business model, because otherwise it's just going to be too much work and you're going to burn out. Next, not having a mentor or a coach. I cannot tell you how much of an impact it's had on my life having people to guide me. I would be completely lost if I didn't have coaches, mentors helping me. And I think it's so important to get both. You can get mentors, business mentors, life mentors, coaches. I have coaches for everything from health to marketing to sales to business development to Chinese to speaking, everything, right? You've got to have people that can help lift you up so that you can get to higher heights. Because very often we can't see our own blind spots because there are blind spots until someone else comes in with a different perspective and says, look, yeah, I think you may need to switch things up, do things differently to allow you to move forward. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to overcome these big mistakes that people make and create a sustainable business to help you move forward.